Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be showing off something a little bit more special. This is an Object 907. This is one of the ClanWars reward tanks that it's not my personal tank, it's my friend Frank's, and it looks pretty cool. It's a medium tank. It has a 100mm upper plate, about 230 in the turret. Got speed limit about 55, 2,000 hit points, and the gun is a 100mm, 264 pen, 330 with heat rounds, and about 320 damage, so it's about the same as every other Soviet medium tank. As you can see, it climbs fairly well. The power to weight ratio is quite good. The gun depression is quite bad at -5, but that's made up by the fact that it has 2 aiming time and 0.36 accuracy. So, 400 view range, trigger speed of 48. That about covers everything to do with this. 610 horsepower engine, 850 for the radio. So, just in general, looks like a pretty decent tank for a reward tank. Looks like Frank is going to push up pretty hastily towards A1. It's a good spot to take if you can take it. And it looks like he spotted a T-49, fires on the move, and now he's dead. And it looks like there's a T-62A, Tier 10 Soviet tank. He takes a shot, but he bounces it right off the upper plate. It's sloped back pretty heavily, so WZ-120 only has 100 on its upper plate, and he manages to put one straight through the front. Putting shots in the T-62A, but it's going to hit his turret, and T-62's got a really strong turret, so WZ's going around, not taking very good shots, and Frank is owning him pretty good here. Puts one into him again. Looks like the WZ's armor is not going to be able to hold up. He should be side-scraping the way Frank is right now, because his friends aren't helping him come around, so this is a bit of a misplay on his part. So he takes a hit from the T-34, and this WZ just doesn't get the hint, and he's not doing any damage. And his poor T-34 has been perma-tracked, and then he gets taken out by the E-50M. So it looks like everyone wants to side-scrape around this corner. This is the corner to side-scrape on, I guess. So he's just popping in and out, and he's making mincemeat out of these guys over here. T-62A is tracked, and now he's dead. Now the T-54, it's really late to the party. He's really beat up already anyway. Frank's going to finish him off. Looks like the DPM on this tank is absolutely amazing. It's about 3,000 damage per minute. The tank's quick. It's got a good gun. Gun depression's bad, but he was able to bounce quite a lot of shots there. You can see the whole front of the tank is just peppered with rounds that have hit and bounced off. The only one that did go in was from that T-34, I think, that went in through the lower plate. Now that that group in the north has been destroyed, he's heading back. Looks like he's going to go help out the heavies in the city, because there was probably nothing left other than maybe that T-30 there that was camping base. So cross-country performance looks pretty good. Going downhill, he's able to get up to about 60. He's got a shot at this T-30. Don't know if that hit. It might have hit. Looks like it maybe did. Yeah, so he's dead. Now there's only 5 tanks left on the enemy team. He's going to try and breach the water here. And they're pretty outnumbered up there, so it looks like Frank's been able to soak up a little bit more damage in this game. E-75 goes down. The AMX 50-120 is the only tank left on his team over here. And he's not feeling too good. He's been beat up pretty bad. He's only got 100 hit points left. So the 2 Object 907s are heading into the town from the south. Now he's going to have to be careful here because the E100, if he's shooting heat rounds, he's going to be able to pin him. He's got the cheeks of the turret and doesn't manage to get a shot in there. Almost gets a shot in at the FE215B, but shot kind of disappeared, so he's going to just concentrate on this E100 now. Side of the turret, easy pen. It's going to pull forward again, and doesn't matter. The 5120 ended up coming around and taking him out. Yeah, this is a pretty nice looking tank. I think the other choice that you could get for the third ClanWars campaign or whatever was an M60. I'm not sure how this fares compared to that. I've never driven the M60. Looks like Frank is able to... he spots this guy, but he doesn't manage to get the shot in. Firing on the move at a pretty long distance, about 400 meters. Would have been lucky if he would have got those hits in. So the 50B is trying to go after the 183. Probably not the best idea. If he gets hit at all, he's dead. And he has no turret armor. But this guy's pretty much doomed at this point. There's no way he's going to be able to get out of the problem that he's in. Frank puts a shot into him. Other guy's not really paying attention. Frank probably could have just stopped there, and that kill would have been his. Oh! Instead his friend gets it. That was pretty funny. So, pretty cool game in the 907. Probably ended up doing like 3,000 to 5,000 damage in that. It looked like it was a pretty high damage game. Tell how squat this tank is. Like, if you look at the T-54, the T-54 sits a lot taller than this. Same with the T-62. This looks a lot more like the Object 430, but it just kind of been like melted down like in a chocolate factory. You can also see it's got a cool gun on top. Lower plate is actually kind of flat looking, so if you're going to shoot at it, you'd probably want to shoot where he got penned. It does have a fairly couple prominent hatches on the top, so they're not quite as flat as some other Soviet tanks. But just the overall footprint of the tank is very small. It's a very compact looking vehicle. Okay, we'll get another game. You can see a little bit more action on what this thing's like. Alright, so we're on Lakeville, and there's an E3 who is moved up into a very forward, not a very forward position, but a forward position in the middle of the road. So he gets a shot into him. Doesn't look like anyone else is trying to scout that middle area other than him. So Frank is just going to push up and around and into the city. He's got a lot of backup. IS-3, T-62A, Object 140. A bunch of heavies behind him. Unfortunately for his team, he doesn't have anyone who's trying to contest that middle area, which is a bit of a pain in the ass. You can see on the enemy team actually has 2 Object 907s, as well as the 2 Object 907s on this team, so some ClanWars people involved in this match. I've never actually run into a 907 in any match I've played, so whoever has these tanks isn't really playing them very much. I'm not sure what was going on here. These guys were just comparing tanks or something. This was just a bit of a clusterfuck situation. I'm not sure exactly what these guys are doing. So he's reverse side scraping on this 183. Not too much to shoot at, so it looks like he's gonna probably drop down into the city. There's just too much of a log jam where he currently is. So there's an E4, and again there's a little bit too much action going on up here. There's too many tanks in there, and he doesn't want to block any of his allies. But it looks like he's going to be able to get the side of these tanks. He's pretty careful. He comes around, takes a shot, but Unfortunately, he misses that shot. Being really careful. It looks like got a shot at U100. Doesn't go in, bounces off. Doesn't really like his odds where he was, so he's going to come back up and try and give some fire support. Bit interesting that he's not penning the lower plate on the E100. Normally that kind of shot would just go in. So instead he changes position again, and he's going to try and come at these guys from a different area. Be really careful where he is though. Puts one into the 183. These two G guys are in a platoon together. And one guy's not paying attention, so he puts a shot into his lower plate. Still not paying attention. It's another shot into him. Now he's down to 27 hit points. If he can remove him from the game, that would be really good for his team. Almost has a shot at that Object 907. If he just backs up a little bit, puts another shot into him. Nice. So the DPM is working quite well here. This 907 needs to stop backing up because he's backing right up into Frank's line of fire. Bounces another shot from the 907. Let's see that one. Right off the... Well, that one looked like it penetrated the front, but... This looked pretty desperate at this point. The enemy team was breaching their base, and the fight in the town wasn't really going so great either. I don't know if Frank's going to be able to win this one. But he's going to get some side shots in on this E3. So the E3 drops, and now it's a bat versus a whole bunch of tanks. This isn't really going too well. But there's another one down. E100's down, so that's great. It might have been good to help out that batch head at this point, but unfortunately he's bouncing a little bit. Trying to get a shot in on the 907, who's continually poking up and giving his side. Not very good play really from that guy. Unfortunately, that stupid Jagdpanzer U100 is so frickin' big that it's blocking a lot of the shots that Frank would be getting on those tanks that are up there. It's another shot in the 907, and unfortunately for these guys, they're going to be attacked in the back. If these guys have any brains, they'll just stop capping and come in here and just wipe out the rest of the team, but... Pretty good fight in the town here. Oh, this guy really screwed up on that shot. And then he rams into him and kills himself. Pretty bad play there. That was pretty awful. So Frank backs up, takes out the other Object 907. Pretty good result there. And somehow they've managed to pull things back. This is looking pretty decent at this point. But if Frank wants to win, he's going to have to start moving back at this point. And he's going to run into Object 268. Not sure how much time he can dilly-dally here because there's probably only one tank capping. Yeah, because there's a IS-3 there. Wasn't going to make that shot. Space Storm on IS-3 would be able to soak that. It's a good shot into this IS-3. Another shot on IS-3. And now he is glassed. He's done. Wow, what a turn of events. I wasn't really expecting Frank to be able to pull this one out. It was a good game, though. Holy cow. They need to get in there and get that reset on that Foch, though. And the Object 907 manages to get a tracking shot and erase all of his well-earned cap points. Side of the Foch, tremendously weak. Manages to bounce a shot from the Foch 155. Looks like it went off the front of his turret. Fantastic game from Frank. He must have done well over 5,000 damage in that game. That was a pretty awesome game, actually. So just looking at the front of his tank, like you can see all the shots that were like bouncing and scraping and going in and stuff. The turret looks pretty strong. It's very sloped back. Overall, this looks like a pretty damn strong tank. I don't think it's an HE, just looking at it. It doesn't look super round. It looks just like a standard definition model, which is, that's fine, I guess. I mean, not a lot of people are going to be getting this tank, so just overall in general, looks the Object 907 is a smaller, squatter version of the T62A and the Object 140, more akin to the Object 430, but the Object 430 has way worse gun depression, -3 versus -5. The front of the upper plate looks pretty strong. The turret looks like it's the best armored spot on the tank, obviously, just because it's so sloped back and it's got like 230 armor in the front. But looks like a few shots went through the front of him, right in the seam between the lower plate and the upper plate. But other than that, the armor seems like it can bounce stuff with a little bit more frequency than maybe the T62A from the front, because it's sloped back more and it's not quite as tall. So just in general, I think this tank would be pretty neat. I at some point would like to play ClanWars, but I've got to save up enough credits. I've got a bunch of tier 10s unlocked now, and I've got to choose whether I'm going to get the Object 140, the FV4202, or I'm pretty close on a few other ones as well. So, you know, drop me a line in the comments. Let me know which tanks you think I should probably buy. Thanks for watching the Object 907 with Frank. See you guys later.